Oh my god. Check this out, guys. It said it's time to leave the vault. What vault is that? It's over, guys. It's over. Alright, guys, Santi here, and welcome to today's episode of Fallabout. Now, it's been a week since the show ended. Yes, guys, it's done. It's over with. There's nothing to look forward. Well, there is, right? We have new fans that are out there, new people that were introduced to the show, and they're a part of this world, this wonderful world. There's still new merchandise that's coming out, so there's a lot of things that we can still look forward to, right? Especially season 2 of the Fallout TV show, which is was already scheduled even before the Fallout show was out. So that is very interesting. California offered 25 million of untaxed dollars to the show in order for them to record here in California, which is my state, my home state. So yes, some good stuff has come out of this, even though the show is done. But what did you guys think? I enjoyed the show. I thought it was great. And I feel like the only way I can really give my review, I can't really say it was the best, it was the worst. I can't say it was good, it was bad. I can't say anything because I have different uh, I guess ratings for different things. So the only way I feel I can do my ratings is if I divide myself into three different Santis, and it could be the Santi that is all about the aesthetics, the way it looked. That could be Santi number one, right? The feeling, how it felt, and then the second Santi can be the Santi of maybe the in a point of view of someone that's never seen this show, the rating there, which will be hard, right? Because I'm obviously really into Fallout, if you can tell. And then the last Santi would be the lore, the story, So let's go ahead and begin. So let's start off with the way it looked. What did you guys think of that? I really think they had some good things that they did. They had the vault that was on point, the vault suits, the power armor. Those things were great, and it does take place in California, the story, so it does trip people out where they're like, wait, it looks kind of like Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and it has to look like that right now, guys. That's the newest game. That's what it looks like now, and I think it's not bad, right? Especially if it takes place 9 years after Fallout 4. There's gonna be some influence, right? Some influence, just like the Pridwin, right? The cast went on, is influenced by the Pridwin, and I think someone posted something about they zoomed in and they had the letters that said Pridwin. I'm not sure how real that is, but people are already coming out with their controversies and they're hating on the new fans as well. But there was a lot of things that they left out. Yes, there was a lot of Easter eggs. There was, sarsaparilla. They had obviously Nuka Cola. They had Yum Yum deviled eggs, and a lot of things that we see throughout the game. A lot of Easter eggs, that were out there that I can't remember at the moment, but there was a lot. Maybe if you guys, I had to look this one up. I was like, okay, Hank at the end of the show puts in the code, right? His code with Moldover, Moldaver. I don't know how to pronounce her name. The Flame Mother. He puts in 10/10/97, and I had to look it up, guys. And that was the original release date for the first Fallout film. That was a good Easter egg there that I bet most of you guys did not know. But you heard it here in Fallabout show. So yeah, there was some things that I feel they could have done a little better. I thrive off the props. I love props. I think it's an homage to the original artist. When someone makes a prop for you or for cosplay, it's very flattering, and I think that the game developers, they busted their butts, designing every bit and piece of the game to make their their world of reality, or the and I think they could have done a little better with that. I think they could have incorporated some of the props and objects and stuff and artifacts that you see in the show. I didn't see much of that, to be honest. It really felt like it was still part of our reality as opposed to a Fallout reality. So to me, it didn't have that feeling of Fallout. Obviously it's a game and this is a show, right? And I'm happy. I'm so happy they did a show, but I think that was one part that they did mess up. The cars since the beginning of the trailers. I was like, the cars, they don't look like anything like the Fallout universe cars, and they didn't do anything for that. There was a few creatures. We got the Yao Guai, which is great. We had the Gulper, which was great. We had even in Assaultron that we saw in the beginning was pretty awesome. And we saw the skull of a Deathclaw at the end. When Hank is going towards New Vegas. So yeah, maybe in the second season we'll probably see that. That's pretty exciting. So I guess what they call mise en scene, right? Mise en scene is how you can tell a story with the objects around. There was a little bit of a lack of mise en scene, or Fallout objects in there. And yeah, Fallout objects, in the game are influenced by real objects from the 50s, and it has that, that look, that 50s, retro look. And I think there was a lot of potential there, and they didn't take advantage of that. But hey, maybe now that their budget's gonna be bigger, maybe you'll see that in the next season, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Where's my water? Here's my water. Boom. All right, guys. So that was I think the look, how I felt about it. It wasn't. I'll give it maybe like from 1 to 10, maybe a 5 or a 6. Cause I mean, in Philly, really, you saw all that trash, all that junk that they just piled up. I mean, I wouldn't doubt if they went to a junkyard and just kind of made space for things and built around it. But hey, I don't know. So yes, that's my rating for that. Maybe a 7, 6 or 7. All right, so we're gonna go now to how I feel the show was in its entirety. As someone that has probably never heard of Fallout or played any of the games, maybe you were one day just on Prime and you're like, huh, what is this Fallout? Huh. Oh, that looks kind of interesting. Let's go see what it's about. And then you start watching it. I'm trying to get myself in that mentality right now, and I think it would feel kind of like watching X Files or The Outer Limits back in the days. It's entertaining though. I think it was very entertaining, and I think it was good. It wasn't bad. I think when you think about it, it's a very interesting story. You start off in a vault. The vault gets attacked. Your dad goes missing, and then you go after your dad, and you go into this wasteland that you haven't seen ever in your entire life, or at least you thought you had never seen. So, yeah, it's an interesting story. There's creatures, there's roaches that have grown, really big, 30 times their size or whatever. And yes, it's interesting, all right? You see things that you are not in any other shows. There is a lot of post-apocalyptic movies out there, but there's nothing really like Fallout. Especially with its story. And the way it looks. So I think someone that has never seen the show is gonna find it very interesting. I have a few friends, family that I do want to maybe get their word and see what they thought about it, because I mean, I've talked about Fallout to them. This is the reason I did this whole show, because they don't want to hear it. They're tired of me. I talk too much about Fallout, and I could keep going, keep going, keep going. I could keep showing, and yeah, I created this show to talk to people who might want to hear about Fallout and might want to comment back. Which again, guys, I encourage you guys to comment. I love comments. And yes, so I'm interested in finding out what they thought about the show and getting their insight. So I'll probably make another video for that with that, and just a few notes that I can take. And then when it comes to story and lore, all right, so they threw a big bomb at us, at the lore. Um, they they revealed something that it was just it wasn't heard of. It changed everything. I feel it was kind of cool to see, how it was a mystery, not knowing where the bombs came from, who threw the first bomb. At least I don't remember recalling knowing who threw the first bomb. But it was always assumed it was another country, and they threw a big bomb at us with that reveal, with that revelation. I was like, "Are you serious?" I was a little too strong. I was like, "What?" I think I was like, "What is going on?" And the timings. A lot of people are having issues with the timing of Shady Sands and when it got bombed, and they're saying it doesn't fit with the lore and the dates do not match those of other video games. But Todd Howard did have a little say in this, and what he said was that the timeline, it says 2277, which is 200 years after the original bombs fell, and it says the fall of Shady Sands. But that does not mean that it was nuked. I think that's what he said. And I mean, it shows a mushroom cloud right next to it, but hey, maybe not. But yeah, a lot of people are kind of like, nah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fall into into the timeline. There was a lot of things that I also think didn't make any sense. For example, Moldaver. Man, I really wish I really knew her name. Moldaver. I think it's Moldaver. She how does she survive? Is she a ghoul that has a smooth skin as well? Because they don't show her being in a cryogenic pod. And she's obviously from before the bombs fell. She's living. She's known as a flame mother now, and there's a cult in Fallout in Vault 4 that's following her. And I don't get how Hank, the overseer, Lucy's dad in Vault 33, was not suspicious. They obviously have a communication. They're communicating back and forth, and he's talking to the overseer. And it had been 2 years since those vault dwellers in Vault 32 were gone. They killed themselves. They killed each other by finding out the truth. And how does this person come in there and acts as a overseer, and he doesn't get suspicious? I just did not understand that, especially knowing that all the overseers were from Vault 31, just like he was, right? Vault 31, which was a big reveal. So yeah, I think right there they kind of messed it up. They showed how Rose McLean went to Shady Sands and met with her. I'm not sure when he went back to get the kids before bombing it, Shady Sands, if he met her or not. I thought he had met her, but yeah, that was a little. I think I did not get that, but maybe we're gonna find out in season 2 how she is, how she came to survive those 200 years. Maybe they're gonna bring her back. If she has a cult following and she is immortal, maybe is not dying. Maybe they're gonna revive her somehow. And like I said, maybe she's a ghoul, a smooth skinned ghoul. That's my take on it. But yeah. So there were a few things that were like, what? When it came to the story, but it wasn't bad. We got a little bit of Fallout 3, with the dad going missing, and that was something that I think they could have done differently as well. We got a little bit of Fallout 4 with the cryogenic pods, in Vault 31. So again, they could have done something else with that. So yeah, there was a few things that were kind of out. When it comes to characters, there was a lot of characters that I loved. One of them was that snake oil salesman guy. I loved his character. He was a good comedy relief. I loved the second episode where Maximus is just with the power armor, and then he thinks it's gonna help a situation, but instead he made it worse after finding out what the guy was doing, which was beautiful. So yes, the humor, it was dark. I loved it. It was perfect. There were some parts in there that I was like, really, like, come on. Like, for example, in Vault 4, the interaction with Lucy and Maximus in there was a little odd, a little uncomfortable, especially because I watched the show with my kids, and in the first episode I was already like, okay, I mean, okie dokie, I was like, oh great, but I tried not to make it awkward for them. It wasn't that long of a scene, but it was interesting, guys. It was pretty good. Whoa, sorry. So yes, I loved Lucy. Her character was great. I loved how she, evolved. Her character evolved throughout the show. She was very naive at the end. You little killer. Yes, I love that. She was great. But that is something that we're used to, and it's something that might sound cliche because we like it. No matter what, we like that kind of character development, and that's what Lucy had in the entire show. Not like Maximus. I think Maximus' character was, uh, I don't know. I think they could have done a little better with it. I think a lot of things didn't make sense. For example, he's in the Brotherhood of Steel, and he is in one of the. He's the guy that scoops the poop. Really, dude. Like he's being hazed by all these, you know, older people that are in the Brotherhood, and he's a new recruit. How is he a new recruit? I mean, the guy was found inside of a refrigerator by a knight in Shady Sands. How is he a new recruit? I mean, he looked very young, and then he looks a lot older now that we see him, right? So yes, where is that timeline? Maybe it's gonna be explained. Maybe he was adopted. Maybe he was taken to a family. I don't know. I don't know. And that's the beauty of it, that season two can kind of grow the characters a little more. But the side we got in season one, his character, I did not like it. I did not like it because the Brotherhood of Steel. I feel it's very kind of religious without being religious. So I think there's a lot of honesty involved, and he did not have that. He was more like a raider. I think he should have been a raider because all he kept doing was lying. He had so many opportunities to start over and not lie. And yes, he did tell Lucy that he the truth at the end, right? And I just think he could have done it a little earlier because we had already seen him do it to other people. He did it to his first night. Well, he didn't do it to him, but he betrayed him pretty much. He pretty much left him out there to die. And what a revealment, right? Michael Rappaport. I did not expect that, but it was kind of beautiful how when I saw that little clip that they first showed where it's him in Philly, confronting the ghoul and stuff. To me, I was like, his voice sounds ridiculous. Is that really what it's gonna sound like? It sounds so dumb, and it made sense why, and it was because he was trying to change his voice. Obviously, he had a voice changer, and it made him sound just a little more, dumb, low pitch, and it was on purpose. Now I know it was on purpose, so it makes sense. But there was some moments that I did like of Maximus, and those were the moments the moments I enjoyed. And they weren't even with Lucy. I think the moments I enjoyed with from Maximus was when he was with what is it, Thaddeus, Thaddeus. That was another good character. I think he did so good. I had seen him before in Megamart. I think that's what it was called. It was he did a really good job. And what is the deal with his ending? Right? Is he turning into a ghoul? Because I mean, the ghoul got his finger bitten off, and it did not grow back. But this guy gets in, you know, a cut on his, was it an arrow or something, or a shot, and then it regenerates super fast. It heals super fast. So is he a ghoul, or is he gonna be maybe infected with the with the FEV, with the FEV virus, with the what is it, the forced evolutionary virus? We don't know. Maybe he's gonna become um, a mutant of some sort, right? So yeah, we're gonna find out later on. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see who else we have. Um, so yes, I talked about Moldaver, and her character. A lot of questions there. Let's talk about the Ghoul. The Ghoul's character was great. I really enjoyed his character as well because you know, it, we know why he's the way he is. I mean, he's lived for 200 years. He's like an old person or someone that everyone has died around him that he loves. You're not gonna be in the best of moods, right? And that's what this guy was about. He was about myself, me, myself, and I, and that's all I care about. No one else. And I loved how his character kind of like took a turn, especially with Lucy. He turned her, he showed her the way of the wasteland, and then she she also changed him, by he was on the floor outside the Super Duper Mart, and she gave him the vials, and she's like, "You and me might be alike, but we're never gonna be the same. Here are the vials." Like he changed, something changed in him just a bit, especially with dog meat. The way he stabbed it, I saw a picture where people were like mad, and then when he saves, what is this, CX-404, they're all happy again, like, yeah, because yeah, obviously dog meat, you don't mess with dog meat, right? Or CX-404. People are also asking, like, I want to know, is that dog meat? It is dog meat. Every dog that's a companion in a Fallout show is dog meat. And they all look different, all right? He's come out in a lot of games, guys. So, yes, if you did not know that, it's dog meat. Yes, he has a number, he has a name. He does, but he's dog meat. And he calls them dog meat. The Ghoul calls him dog meat. And I really liked how his relationship with dog meat or CX-404 was. It was pretty cool. I really like that, and I like how he had a dog of his own, and he had his movie, A Man with a Dog, A Man and His Dog. That's based off of A Boy and His Dog. This is something that, if you guys are very interested, the games, the creators of the game were influenced by this movie, and you can find it on YouTube for free. That's where I watched it a few years ago. I'm sure it's still there. A Boy and His Dog, pretty cool. So yes, it was very very interesting, his character. So who else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about, you know, Wilsig, and let's talk about Mae Jun. What was that? I really thought their characters were gonna be out there for a lot longer, guys. And no, Mae Jun's character was like very negative. I was so surprised. I wanted to see her. My heart kind of like, oh no, she's a mean lady. But I get it too. She revealed something that I had never really put much thought into it, and that was how fortunate people that are in the vaults are. And I mean, the way you see it is like, oh wait, Vaultec, evil corporation, and they made experiments on people. The vaults were experiments. Yes, we see that. But when it comes to Vault 31, 32, 33, they were very fortunate. They were they were down there. They were safe. It was one of the good vaults, like like Barb Cooper said. I mean, Barb Howard said. So I get it. I get her mentality when it comes to people in the vaults. Yes, you guys were in there hiding while the rest of the world were left to die. So yeah, I get it. I get her why she's mad at Lucy, but I really hope that her character was gonna be a little more of a grandma motherly relationship with Lucy. I was hoping for that. I was hoping that she was gonna help her kind of like overcome all the dangers, in the outside world, because maybe she saved her life, or via versa. I don't know, but I think they could have done a little better with that. I was really hoping her character was a little bigger. Will Sig as well. He passed away. Well, he killed himself, and then he got his head chopped off. And we knew he was going to get his head chopped off. I kind of thought it was going to be him. But yeah, their characters were dead right away. And I think they could have... well, not they could have. I wished, I was hoping they would have had their characters just a little longer. It would have been very, very interesting. So yes, we had a lot of other characters from Vault 32 that were pretty interesting. For example, we found out Betty and Steph, that were they became overseers, right? Because they were from Vault 31, obviously, just like Hank and everyone else that was an overseer. And I find that pretty interesting how we see Betty, as a Vault-Tec receptionist. She's the one that introduces Cooper Howard to Hank. You see her there, but you did not see Stephanie, and Stephanie's character was pretty cool. I really love how you killed my husband, and she gets a fork in her eye. She's like, and she starts shooting everybody. That was awesome. That was really really cool. So yes, I'm very interested to find out who she is, who she was back in the days before the bombs fell. I'm really excited about that. With her character. Another character that I want to talk about is Lucy's brother. Norm. So Norm's character, I loved. I loved how he was hiding in the beginning. He's like, "Oh no, I'm too chicken," and then she has to put him underneath, and get covered up. All everyone's getting massacred in the vault, and he's looking like, "Oh no." I really like how after that it was kind of like a reality check to him. Like we've been fortunate enough to be living down here. It's a privilege to be living down here, and we finally got a first taste of blood and what the world is really like out there. And I like how he started doubting. He started like thinking like, what is going on? And he pretty much became every player, every one of us. He I think it was a reflection of every player out there that is goes into a building and goes on the terminals to find out information, and I really did enjoy that. I really enjoyed that because yes, he was out there, he was doubting, and he decided to find the truth, and he did. He found the truth. He found his way around. He found out what was involved 32, how they killed themselves and how they killed each other. He found out how they opened the vault with his mom's Pip-Boy. He found out what was going through Vault 31. He found out, that all the overseers, it was just a coincidence they were all from Vault 31. So yes, his character was awesome, and I really enjoyed that. He did a really good job. I really thought in the trailers when Lucy's escaping, not escaping, when she's leaving the vault and someone goes, Lucy! I really thought it was him, and I was really glad to find out that it was not him. There was the other guy named Reggie or Reg. I really, really think that was really cool. So yes, we had, the Raiders that were working alongside the NCR with Moldaver, and I like how he started noticing, Norm started noticing how they had scars, how they were eating, how they were kind of taking food from other people. I mean, they were controlling themselves, because when you see them in that prison cell, they were crazy, right? But yeah, that's what kind of started it all. And again, I don't understand how Hank did not find out, that did not know that they weren't from Vault 32. I don't get that. I don't understand. But yeah, other characters that I really enjoyed. Chet's character was it was okay. He was funny, right? He was a cousin, and forever he's gonna be known as a cousin. And now he belongs to Stephanie. Now he's babysitting. Now he's taking care of the baby, right? Or he's helping her move. So yes, that was kind of quick for him, and I like the part where he goes, "Are you? You're just helping me because you're in love with my sister." All right, so yeah, Vault 4, guys. Vault 4, the Overseer, we have Chris Parnell. I was like, what is going on here? I feel like this episode should not exist. This Vault should not exist. There was no reason for this episode other than to show us a soft side, or a kind of like comedic relief for Maximus, right? We saw this side where he's enjoying life inside a vault. He's having a little spa time, and then Lucy kind of took on the role of her brother, finding out what is going on. You know, Other than that, I don't really see the reason for that vault, other than to see that there was a cult that was following the flame mother. But yes, I think in the end it was kind of like, what is going on? It felt, and I don't know if it's just Chris Parnell because of Rick and Morty, but it did feel like a Rick and Morty episode, right? You had the guys with the extra nose and the people, and I was like, what is going on? It felt very sci-fi in that sense. So yes, that was kind of interesting. We saw the NCR, the Battle of NCR with the Brotherhood of Steel, and that was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting. Especially the guys that are with the flags. I wouldn't want to be that guy, just holding a flag and running. Like really, at least hold a gun and shoot. But yeah, and I just didn't like how we were taken away from that and taken inside to the reveal of Hank's true self and Lucy's mother Rose. It really felt like like if your uncle and your dad are outside fighting, and then your mom tells you get back inside, and she pulls you in just to find out that she burned the turkey inside, and That's how it felt, really. Um, but yeah, it was very interesting, and I don't know what other characters I want to talk about other than the origin story. I had read the origin story of the Vault Boy in Vanity Fair, and I was a little disappointed. So in the end, they're pretty much telling us that it's the Ghoul. It's your old Cooper Howard who influenced Vault Boy. I think they could have done a little better with that, And then the whole the thumbs up, the whole bomb. You're at a safe distance. That's something that we had heard before, and I think they said that it wasn't true that someone made that up. Sorry, my audio keeps going off. But yeah, I think they could have done a little better with Cooper Howard's origin story of the Vault Boy. Vault Boy, right? Obviously, it is influenced in reality by the Monopoly guy, and I think they could have done something a little different. Cooper Howard. This is my take on it because I thought about this. I told my wife this is what they should have done, and I'm gonna tell you guys this pitch. Okay, so Cooper Howard, actor, hero, cowboy, uh, influencer, you know, little boy. He has cancer. He wants to meet Cooper Howard. He meets Cooper Howard, and they take a picture, and the little kid goes like, "How you feeling?" He goes like this, puts his thumbs up, little blonde boy, and then he gets the idea that maybe you should go on the set with me. And what set is he going to? He's gonna go take pictures for the Vault-Tec, as like we saw in the show. And he has a little Timmy there, and the little Timmy's excited and like, oh my god, he goes like this to him, and then he goes like that back to him, and that's when they take the picture, and that's the origin of the Vault Boy. It was based off little Timmy that was dying of cancer. That would have been so great. I think that would have been so awesome, as opposed to, well, I'm used to holding something. I don't have a gun. Maybe a thumbs up. No, no. And even Barb Howard says, "Oh, look, a vault suit, and it's your colors." Really, just because he has a cowboy suit that's yellow and blue, there when he goes, they already had the colors. They had the Vault-Tec logo already. Like they knew already. They knew. they knew they didn't do it for his colors. Those were their colors already. So yes, I think that would have been a pretty cool. What do you guys think? You guys think that's a cool origin story for the Vault Boy? Yeah, I think so too. All right, guys. So there was also that part where we have the big companies of Vault-Tec, and to me that part it was cool to see. It was cool to put faces, familiar names. You were like, whoa, wow, wow, okay, Sinclair. Oh my God, House. That was cool. Yes, but did they need it? I know people that don't know who they are probably, like whatever about it, and that's why they kept it short. But things in there were a little weird for me because yes, guys. So yes, we can have all these vaults, and you guys can do whatever experiments you want. And these guys are having a hoot. They're like, oh, what if we have one where you can put, they pretty much were naming all the vaults that we have heard in their experiments that they were doing. I can't remember anything right now, but I don't know. Does that really happen? Like really, like these companies, they're thinking of. I guess they didn't know about blowing the world, that it was gonna be Vault-Tec blowing up the world. But they're bringing up all these things at the end. Are they really gonna agree to doing that, knowing that it's all money and power, but then there's not gonna be any people to have power over? I don't know, guys. And that's another thing that at the end you see Hank, and he's going to New Vegas. What is that ending gonna be? Are they? Is it not lore anymore? There's different endings that you play in Fallout New Vegas, right? You can go with killing House. So what? What does that mean? That uh, is House gonna be alive, or is he not gonna be alive? So who are they siding with? Is Caesar dead, or is he alive? What is gonna happen in season 2? So yes, you had Repcon, you had Robco, you had the Big Empty, Uh, West Tech, all those companies. I think that scene was cool, but it just felt like it's not true nature. I don't think no matter how bad you are, you could do something like that. So I think they could have worked that out just a bit. I don't know what else I'm missing here, guys, but What did you guys think of the show? I really enjoyed it. To be honest, I watched the show the first time with my kids, and it was pretty distracting because of my kids, and it was more for me of the feel, the look, and I couldn't really engage because it kept bothering me. That kept bothering me, so I had to rewatch the show, and I haven't even finished it. I'm still like in episode 7. And I was supposed to take notes, which I didn't. So I'm probably gonna have to watch it again. Especially if there's nothing else to do now, right? We have so much time. We had 3 years to wait, or 3 or 4 years that we were waiting for this show for this show to happen. It's finally here and it's over. So yes, I am sad. But guys, there's so much more that we can talk about. There's so many more products and things we can review. Especially now with all these new fans, it's gonna be amazing, guys. We have events happening. So yes, it's a great time to be a Fallout fan. And again, guys, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys comment. Remember, I thrive off comments. I love reading you guys' comments. I want to give a shout out to one of my viewers, Jadam. What's up, Jadam? And remember, guys, next time, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Fallabout!